Vintage inspired fashion has always been a fascination of mine. It's not something I have a lot of in my wardrobe. So for today's video, I decided to play with the vintage styles. I went in on SHEIN and I have 6 or 7 pieces to share with you today in that vintage inspired look. I gave the hair a go. I gave the red lippy a go. It's not something I normally do, but I thought, why not? I also picked up these little vintage inspired earrings on SHEIN. They're also from SHEIN and I will link them below. Per usual, everything will be linked in the description box. So if you're interested in anything I'm sharing with you today, you can go down and check that out. There's loads of great information down there. But vintage inspired fashion from SHEIN. Let's get stuck into it. We are starting off with a dress that set off the entire idea of a vintage inspired haul. This dress came up as a suggested item when I was nosing on SHEIN. And I just thought it looked adorable. The model were all dressed up as well in the lippy and, you know, the vintage style. And I had to try it. We have a little short sleeve with some elastics at the cuff. We have a shirt style dress at the top. So we got the collar and we do have the button down. Then we have an elasticated waist, which is not always great for apple shape. So we'll see how it goes. And then it goes into a slightly tiered A-line skirt. As you can see, we do have the little stitches there. I think it only is just a 1 tier, is it? Yeah, just a 1 tier. It is 100% a polyester and there is no stretch in the fabric at all. There is, of course, elastics in the middle there, but there is no stretch in the fabric. And it does come with a little tie belt. I picked mine up in a size 3XL, shop by the measurement per usual. And I have been requested to mention that I have actually a video on how to measure your body if you need the measurements for shopping online. I have the video linked in the description box at all times. So if you need help with getting your measurements taken, do go and check that out. This dress is stunning. It is so adorable and it absolutely has that vintage feel to it. I definitely feel like I've been transported back in time, that is for sure. It fits me like a glove, I must admit, so it does pay off to shop by those measurements. Fabric wise, it is that polyester. It is, I wouldn't say parachute material, it's actually really nice and soft, but it is a polyester, just so you are aware. Now, the one thing I'm not keen on, me personally, on this dress is the elastics here in the arms. I have quite big arms and it's not tight, but I can feel that it's there. I would have preferred just a straight sleeve instead. Also, as I was talking about, now it does have the tie belt, but because we have that elastic underneath the bust, because I have a big belly, it does have that kind of slight tendency to just slide up under the bust and makes me look pregnant. Now, when you have a tie belt on, it is great to kind of disguise that because the bow will sit and kind of remove that cave that you get underneath the bust there and just straighten it out a little bit. Am I keeping this dress? I don't know, but I'm definitely going to take a couple of pictures in it because it's adorable. After I found the dress that we just tried on, I decided to search for some more vintage pieces. So I went in on SHEIN and in the search bar, I just popped in plus size vintage. I pressed search and up came all these gorgeous pieces. Now, I will say though, a lot of the pieces have to do with the styling because this top that I picked, the next top that I picked, I can definitely see the nod to the vintage. But I don't think it would look out of place just with a pair of jeans and a blazer either, if you know what I mean. It definitely has that 1930s feel to it. I think, again, 100% polyester. It has that polyester feel to it. And again, there is no stretch in the fabric at all. I do love this band that runs down here. Now, the fabric is the exact same like polyester satin style of a fabric, but it looks far more expensive, I think. Now, it just goes straight down, but in the cuffs, we do have a little bit of elastics. Again, size 3XL, shop by the measurements. Let's give it a go and see if it works. I'm not mad at this top, but I'm not madly in love with it either. I hope that makes sense. I don't know. I can definitely see that vintage feel to it, 1930s inspired look, but I just don't think it nails it, even with the lippy and the hair. I'm not great at hair, but anyway, I'm just not feeling it. That's being honest with you. And I'm kind of thinking, would I love it more with a pair of jeans? But I don't think so. I don't think so. It is lovely though. That's not it. It has a great fit on me. Lengthwise, it's lovely if you don't like tucking in your tops. It does have a great length to it as well. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. That's being honest with you. The fabric, I should say, is a little bit on the parachute You can kind of hear it when I move, right? And I'm not the keenest fan on that. Yeah, this one's just not for me, but maybe it's for you. Another gorgeous top I fell in love with immediately, and of course it was the collar that I fell in love with. It is just so beautiful with this lace on it, and there's a couple of wee faux buttons down there. They don't do anything, they're just for decoration. This one has a long sleeve on it with a beautiful finishing down in the sleeve. It just goes straight down, so we'll see how it goes, but it does have a great length. Straight up, straight down, 100% polyester like the other two pieces that we had, but the quality of this fabric is so much more luxurious. This feels like a real gorgeous satin, and the fabric itself is far thicker than the other two pieces we had. Definitely a step up in quality for this one, which I absolutely love. It is just so beautiful. I got this one again in a size 3XL shop by the measurements, and 100% polyester. I don't know if I said that. This blouse hits it on the head. This is far more like it and far more what I wanted. The color of this is just beautiful, and it just lies perfect on my chest. The shoulders are the perfect width. This top is blooming beautiful. I love it. Even the length of the sleeve fits me perfect for ones. I love it. Lengthwise, again, it's perfect. This top is just perfect. If you don't like tucking in your tops, then this one definitely could be for you. It is so beautiful, and that collar just nails that vintage inspired look, doesn't it? I'm definitely going to play around with this one and style it up, see what I can do with it, see if it fits with the rest of my wardrobe. Whether or not I'll keep it, I don't know, but I do love it. I picked another blouse, but I must admit this one feels a lot more like a t-shirt. It also looks as if it has the fit more of a t-shirt with a little short sleeve on it, but it has this gorgeous collar on it with a couple of buttons that actually opens here in the front, and then it just goes straight down. Now, this one is 95% polyester with a 5% elastane in it, and the fabric is very, very different. Not only is it tons stretchy, it feels much more like a t-shirt material. It also has a little bit of texture in it, which I really, really love. Now, the only thing is, I have been struggling with this collar ever since I took it out of the bag, and it kind of keeps popping up. So I'm hoping that's not going to happen once it's laying on my body. We'll see, but it's just something to mention. Now, it is as if it's like a little rope piece that's sitting on here. It actually adds a little bit of volume around it. So maybe it's the way it was sewn, I don't know. But size 4XL on this one, because again, measurements, always use the measurements. But let's jump into it and see if it works. This top is absolutely amazing, and it nails the vintage inspired look for sure. I also think on top of that, it is the most wearable for my wardrobe of the three tops that we've had so far today. I'm in love with this one. And yes, the collar does sit and muck about a little bit, but I was kind of thinking that maybe I could discreetly put a little safety pin on the back and just pin it down, so maybe it'll stay put. This is stunning, this t-shirt, and it's so soft and so stretchy. The shoulder width on me is perfect. Even with the little puff we got going on here, it still fits me perfect. This one is staying in my wardrobe for sure because it is adorable. It is adorable. Now, it does sit more snug to the body, and I think that's what I love about it, because I think once I tuck that in, it would look far more like my personal aesthetic, and it'll suit my body shape far better, and I could still throw a blazer over it if I wanted to. Oh, I'm raving about this top. It is so gorgeous. I love it so much. This one is definitely staying. I did pick another dress, and this one also has flowers, so it's scaring me a little bit, but I do love it. I think it's very, very beautiful. Again, it is like a shirt style dress because we do have the buttons up here, but we have a grandad collar on this one. We have a bit of a longer sleeve with the 3/4, and it does have a little bit of elastics as well. We do have a seam there in the middle. Is that elastic? I think it is. Yeah, elastics. Bit of stretch to the fabric, but it's also 100% cotton, this one. And again, it does come with a tie belt and into an A-line skirt. Now, the skirt part of this dress is actually lined. Let me see if I can dig it out. There is a lining underneath here, but there is no lining in the top half of the dress. So that part is actually slightly see-through. Just something to be aware of. I don't know why they haven't lined the full dress. It would have made more sense to do so. But I do think this green tie here is going to look absolutely stunning on it. I got this one, I think it was a 3XL as well, but again, use the measurements. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I actually got this one in a size 2XL because, again, I shop by the measurements. This time, it didn't quite work because, as you can tell, over the bust, I am gaping like nothing else, and even pinning it together would just be too tight. It's also a little bit snug over my back here, which I would prefer was be a little bit looser, and because it's cotton, it is going to shrink. Other than that, this dress is adorable. I love the length of these sleeves compared to the black dress we had with the flowers. I love these sleeves far better. I love the length of them better, but I also love the fact that they have that looser fit with the slight little bit of elastic, but again, it's far looser. This green tie belt is stunning on it, and it's definitely just that perfect finish just to kind of show off the dress. I really do like this, but it is a size too small for me. There is no doubt about it, but it is adorable. So if you like the vintage inspired like I do, maybe this one is for you. Just be mindful of those measurements. And as I said, in this case, I would need a size up. So maybe you would too, but it's adorable. To finish off today's vintage inspired haul, I have two pairs of trousers, and they're the same style because I have gone for my favorite wide leg pair of trousers. These brown ones here does have the elasticated waist on the back, which I love. We do have the functioning belt loops, and we also have functioning pockets with just a one button and a zip closure. Now they do have the pleats in the front, and I do know as an apple shape, pleats does not always work. It's simply just a personal call whether or not they are for you or not. Personally, it's hit and miss, so I always just give it a try. But as I say, the wide leg pair of trousers, these ones actually have a little bit of a cuff on them, which I only just noticed, which is sewn into place. That's beautiful and very vintage inspired with that cuff on, isn't it? These ones are, again, the 100% polyester. There's a little bit of stretch to the material, not a lot, but there is a little. And I got mine in a size 3XL. These trousers are very, very cute, and I really do like them, but I must admit they are so similar to the ones that I'm actually wearing today that I wouldn't want to keep them. Now, I will say, however, if you have a bigger belly and you need the extra space like I do for the belly down below here, there is tons of extra room in this pair here, which I really, really prefer. Not so much in the waistline, but that we do have the elastic, so there's still space, but there is just that extra room there for the belly, so that is fantastic. They're definitely vintage inspired with that little cuff on, and you could definitely dress them up, dress them down as you please. They don't have to be for the vintage inspired outfits, but they are really adorable. They fit me very well in my backside as well, and as you know, I don't have much of a backside to stick in there. They're really cute, but the ones I have, I'm going to stick to them because they're so similar. The last pair of trousers you might have seen before if you saw my SHEIN hauls that I did over the summer, because I had actually ordered these, but I had ordered them in a size 4XL and they were just way too big. I loved them so much, I decided to order a size 3XL this time and give them a try. And I do think that they are they could easily fit in to the vintage inspired, but I also think that they definitely fit the modern standard with, again, the pleats. We have that little metal hook and eye kind of situation going on. I'm not a big fan of those, but nevertheless, a zip, we do have the belt loops, and we have the functioning pockets. There is no elastics on the back on these ones here, but these ones, they're just such a sleek pair of trousers. They will go with anything, and they are timeless. They will stand the test of time. What a bummer, but these trousers are just a little bit too small in the waistband, and they are just a ½ inch too short for me as well. Oh, I am so bummed because I love them in the size 4XL. They were just a little bit too baggy, but these ones are just a little bit too snug. So annoying because these ones fit me perfect in the back side, but it's here in the front, they're actually pulling, but most importantly, it's the length of the leg. There's nothing I can do about that. So, oh, I'm so bummed because I really, really love these. Sadly, I'm just not meant to own this pair of trousers. But that is all the pieces I have to share with you in this little vintage inspired haul. I hope you found it inspiring, and if like me that you love some of these vintage pieces, you can check them all out in the description box. There's also a link to the video, and I should mention as well, per request, my shapewear is always linked down there as well, because I do wear shapewear in all my videos, and I keep having people reaching out asking me, so they're always linked down there if you're interested. All right, but if you made it this far and sat through the Ask Me, thank you so much, because that's how you're helping my channel grow. With all that said and done, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.